Well, that being said, though, of course, we come down to the late race restart. You got two Team Penske's on the front row, kind of in a similar situation as last year with teammates at the front. Austin Cindric, the rookie, manages to win it. Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's start with the. I put team orders in our script, but I don't think anyone would have faulted Blaney for maybe
No.
I mean, not letting his teammate in, but
they do that every team that's running 1-2 does that like every time we come to a plate race, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it was funny listening to Tony Stewart and Clint Boyer being like, "Oh, what are they going to do here?" And it's like Cindric's going to take the outside and Blaney's going to let him in. Like we all know what's going to happen.
Yep.
Or as Joey Logano likes to call it, the okie dokie. So
yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty obvious what was about to happen.
Yeah.
And I think that usually comes with like a general understanding that like last lap or two, it is what it is with the teammates. So like team orders, like I
it's
get
not
it.
orders, but it's the only way to like kind of phrase it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and it's the only way for a team to ensure itself a shot at winning at the end because they have confirmed dancing partners right there with each other. It benefits Blaney just as much as it does Cindric at the end of the day.
Yep.
Which is the exact thing that Blaney brought up, right? Agreed to it because okay, this is probably our best shot to make sure Penske wins the 500. Look at Ryan Blaney being a great team leader over there. Look at that. Not wrecking his teammate throwing blocks. I wonder what other veteran driver could learn a thing or two about that.
But like it's funny because like if they don't work together, Blaney starts on the outside and the outside line usually doesn't stay with the inside on restarts. So
the thing in that situation though is he has Keselowski behind him.
Yeah. But it's like who would I want to work with? My teammate or other guy?
The guy that's
like
caused two big wrecks.
Yeah, who's already spun two people out pushing really aggressively.
I want him pushing me? Yeah, and I think that's exactly it, right? Because we saw Briscoe wasn't able to push the 6, and that's kind of what stalled that outside line out and stuff going to the end. But a crazy photo finish, which it hasn't been talked about enough. Cindric, of course, first rookie, official rookie of the year contender, however you want to phrase it, to win the Daytona 500.
Yep.
He's here, guys, and he's ready. He's
much to my chagrin.
He's ready for the Cup Series, right?
Yeah, I happy for Austin Cindric. Was kind of pulling for Bubba to sneak it out down in the bottom there.
Agreed.
Would have been happy with the Blaney win. I think Blaney's going to get his though. He's really good at these play races. At the end of the day, though, I've turned around on Austin Cindric in the last couple years. I'm not too upset about it. We really got to see just how these cars race in those last few laps. It wasn't pretty good. It wasn't super hard to pass, but like it was like you had to like it was like a timing thing for sure. And it was good racing to the end of that the end of that race. Who knows if Cindric doesn't wall Blaney? Maybe it's a little closer.
I mean, hey man,
listen, I don't care what you say. He walled the hell out of his teammate. And
Blaney's guilty of it in the past too. So
exactly.
I mean,
that's why I have
less of it. Like
that's why I have less of a problem with it because we've literally watched Ryan Blaney do it. And it's like, yeah, well, there it is. I guess it happened.
Yeah, no, I wasn't too mad. Like, I don't really care for Austin Cindric, but I was like, well, whatever. So
it was funny.
There's worse people. So
it was funny to hear Bubba talk to after, like, I was really hoping they would wreck each other. So Blaney would have been a little further up and it would have turned him into the wall. Good.
I will say, shout out to Bubba's like change in mentality. Because in 2018, when he finished second, he was like super emotional. And even last year, if he would have finished second, they would have been pumped. And then finishing second in this race, he seemed like genuinely mad because it's like, oh my God, we should be winning this race.
Well, I mean, think about it. He had a really good car last year in this race and had a late race issue on pit road that put him a lap down. Obviously, he's got. I think he's a guy that's going to really benefit from getting his first win, confidence-wise.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, we even saw that over the course of the last 4, 5, 6 weeks of the Cup season last year.
Yeah.
But not to turn this into a Bubba Wallace discussion, you can go check out that Netflix documentary now, by the way. I don't have Netflix, so I haven't watched it. But Cindric, it's his arrival. A lot of folks probably pegged him to maybe win a road course this year if he wins it all. What was that face for?
You just said a lot of people pegged Austin Cindric. I don't know. I just
Anyways,
thought it was a weird thing to say.
This is TV 14 now. Getting really close to that.
A lot of sexual tension in this episode.
Let me tell you. But Cindric's arrived, right? And that's the big thing. Penske, you know, people probably are saying, oh, you lose Brad Keselowski, you bring in 2 young drivers with Harrison Burton in the 21 and Cindric in the 2. How are they going to adjust? They're adjusting just fine because Harrison was up front and Cindric looked good throughout the whole race, like average running position up inside the top 10. No drop off in quality of driver in that car, it would appear, at least for the super speedways.
It shouldn't even be a surprise. He was really good in the 500 last year, too.
Oh.
He was running like 3rd or 4th very late into that race.
And that's the thing, right? It's not a surprise. I think people kind of, he's a rookie to win. This guy puts in, you know, from everything we've heard, this guy puts in more work than anyone else.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and a lot of that goes back to his debut in the trucks being atrocious. So he's, and you know, people are gonna always say that he's only in that car because who his dad is and his dad's relationship with Roger Penske and being the team principal and whatnot. But if you didn't think Austin Cindric as a, you know, Xfinity champion and runner-up by, you know, a hair for a second time, wasn't a legit race car driver and was not deserving of a Cup Series ride, you're sadly mistaken.